Congress MP Abhishek Manu Singhvi is with me, sir. Fireworks expected in the parliament. At least 9 to 10 political parties from the opposition have given suspension notice over the farmers' issue. We have seen farmers protesting, but sir, we have also seen very different scenes at the borders now. Iron nails have been put up, massive security deployment there in a way to push back the farmers. How do you see this?
Most unfortunate. Just kindly consider this. The first time this issue came was in June last year. Now June can't be called a discussion because these were rammed down. There was no discussion. There was guillotine of parliament, etc., etc. You know the fights. Actually speaking, parliament is met for the first time after June. Now after that, for 70 days, now maybe 80 days, I don't remember the exact number, these poor farmers are on the streets in such biting cold, in such adverse conditions. Do they not deserve a priority discussion in parliament, which in effect is meeting for the first time as far as this issue is concerned? Point number one, no answer, deafening silence. Point number two, I have officially condemned the violence on Republic Day.
True.
And I have said that whoever, if you are responsible, please punish you. If you are responsible, please punish you. But can you utilize or misutilize that violence and exploit it for ulterior motives by cutting off electricity at Singhu? Can you put all these, what you are saying, nail barricades? Are these terrorists and criminals you are dealing with? So I think, on the one hand, to give all these crocodile tears about farmers, to say that our doors are always open, the minister is a call away, and then to behave like this, you are now actually intimidating them physically, making their life miserable, and trying to wish away this very, very genuine anger. And I think this is not permissible in a democracy.
So the government says that the budget is very pro-farmer, very pro-people. It's an Atmanirbhar budget. The Congress says it otherwise. Now, entire opposition, in fact, comes to otherwise. What is the basis of it?
These nice phrases, Atmanirbhar and pro-farmer, these phrases mean nothing. For me, objective fact. Phrase to humne we also heard in the economic survey that we will bat like Pujara also and like Pant also. I said the other day that this is an insult to both Pujara and Pant, who can bat much, much better. The finance minister used a phrase like never before. Some people are complaining that hopefully it will be never again. Now let us look at agriculture, which you are asking. In this whole budget, you will be astonished to know that there is not 1 paisa increase in agriculture. I've got the figures. Some people believe there is a decrease, but let's assume not. Same. For a sector which gives you the maximum employment, same. Number two, the only change made is that to avoid sharing with the states, you have put a cess. As you know, cesses, most of them are not shareable with the state. So while you have decreased some excise, you have converted it into a cess just because you don't want to share with the states. Number three, you have said MSP 1.5 times. Now look at the joke here. I mean, people should understand. On the one hand, it is very grave doubt whether MSP applies at all. Suppose I have a contract with you under the new law. Where is the MSP? Legally binding. No, not actual contract. I can do anything. I can say I will have MSP. Legal binding that your contract with Mr. Singhvi will be minimum MSP. There is no law. The law has been changed. So on the one hand, it doesn't apply. On the other hand, you give a lecture in the budget, will make it 1.5 times. Number four, Swaminathan formula you said in your manifesto that we will implement. BJP. Swaminathan formula is cost 2 plus 50%. Please tell the country where you implemented it. This is, I am only answering on agriculture. These are the 4 points of agriculture in the budget. In all 4, you have been shown to be false.
So, what do you see is the solution, and where is this entire thing headed for?
See, solutions have to come from those who are practicing the politics of arrogance and the politics of zid. The politics of obstinacy and arrogance is not by the farmers, is not by us. Just imagine we are asking for a discussion. For a discussion, you are saying, no, we will do it then, we will not do it then, we will do it tomorrow, we will do it day after. Now, you have to ask them the solution. You are doing the politics of zid, saying for 60 days we will not budge. On the last 10 days, you say we will postpone it by 18 months. So these are all, subterfuges. Now what you are seeing in the border, the kind of high-handed intimidatory tactics, this is another example of politics of arrogance and zid. And I am very sorry, there is no place for it in a democracy.
Sir, one last question. When the opposition is speaking about the farmers issue, giving notices on it, one of the MPs from the ruling BJP has given a notice on some attack on some temple in Andhra Pradesh. Sir. Do you see it as a diversionary tactics for the
You
government?
have answered your own question. I am not saying that a temple attack or an attack of terrorism on any institution of religion or anything is not something to be inquired. But you decide for yourself that in the bar of public opinion, in the temple of democracy, meeting after almost, I would say, 8 months, which is a priority? Without investigation. Diversion is a very mild word you are using. These kind of cheap tactics are very disgusting in a democracy. Thank you.
So these are very cheap tactics are very disgusting in democracy is what Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the Congress MP, has to say. It's Sanjeev Shetty in Delhi, Prashant Kumar. Times Now.